Hi everybody, Patty Ann here. Hang on. Today's cute mug brought to you by my friend LaVan. Anyway, where have I been? Well, I've been doing a lot of sewing, a lot of quilting, and a lot of embroidery with my embroidery machine, and I've cut out the pieces with my Cricut, the fabric pieces, and I ironed them on and then I embroidered around them. You can do that if you have an embroidery machine, but you don't have to have an embroidery machine. You could just zigzag around the pieces. But anyway, one of the things that I wanted to do today is there's some cute things, sayings, slogans that are free this week in Cricut Design Space. One of them that I really want to do is one that says, let me pull it up here, where did it go? Let's see. The mountains are calling and I must go. Now you may know I live in the mountains. I absolutely love the mountains. So of course I want to make a t-shirt like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a t-shirt and I'm going to use my flock iron-on vinyl, and because I really like how that stuff feels, and I'll show you how I do that step by step. Now I have a, maybe you can see it back here a little bit, a heat press, but you don't have to. You can use an iron, for heaven's sake. That's what I used at first, but then I got the heat press just because I got the bug. But anyway, the other thing that I thought would be fun to do, not today, but coming up soon, well, two more things, is I bought this cute little tray that holds bottles, and you could probably get something like that at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I got mine at a little local store, little gift shop. It has little bottles about this size, although this is a plastic water bottle, and I've put some real flowers in this one. But I think what would be cute is to make some flowers that were paper to go into something like this that would be cute for an outside arrangement for maybe a barbecue or something like that. Or you could do something red, white, and blue for 4th of July. Anyway, that's coming up next. Today, like I said, I'm going to work on the mountains are calling and I must go. Let's see, was there one more thing? Oh yeah, a lot of you have asked so many questions about how I do the print and cut. You've had problems with, you know, what kind of printer should I use? What kind of paper should I use? What kind of cardstock should I use? How come it's not cutting? It's just cutting the box around it and not cutting the actual image inside. So I think I'm going to do another one of those videos that shows how to do the print and cut, and I'll try to speak to some of those questions that some of you guys are having, and hopefully I'll be able to answer some. Okay, the first thing I did was I just got out my t-shirt just to get a rough idea of how big I want my design to be. And I really like this, about this size on the back of my t-shirt. So when I measure it, it's about 9.5 or 10 inches. I think I'll just go with 10 by 10. And that's how large I want my design to be. So join me over here and we'll look at the design in Cricut Design Space. Okay, before we start with Cricut Design Space, I'd like to show you the product that I'm going to be using. This is the flock. Now I believe it comes in sheets as well, but I just liked it so much that I bought a roll of it. I may have bought it from Caesar Vinyl, S-I-Z-S-E-R Vinyl. I'm not exactly sure, but there are lots of places where you can get flock if you want it. The other thing I have here is the Scan and Cut vinyl. Now these sheets only measure 8.5 by 12, so you wouldn't be able to do the 10 by 10 obviously. You'd have to adjust the size of whatever it is you're ironing on, or put it on 2 different sheets. That would work too. One of the things, this gives lots of good information on the back of it. I will remind you of this when I go over to the heat press, but one of the things is to make sure that you preheat your fabric that you're going to put this on before you do, and that just makes it so it adheres better. You set your iron to the highest setting that you have with no steam whatsoever. Don't use an ironing board if you can help it. If you have a hard wood surface that might be just a little bit padded, that is better, so you can really get a nice firm adhesion. Let's see, the other thing is it says to place pressing sheet on top, and you can just use a piece of cotton, an old sheet, I like to use the press sheet that I will show you when I'm over there at the heat presser. So that's it for this. So let's join me down here now at Cricut Design Space. Okay, I've opened Cricut Design Space and I'd like to refresh your memory on how to find the items that are free this week. So let's just say I'm in plain images and I come up to this page. Then to find the images that are free this week, I go to categories up here at the top. And then I go to free this week. Now I've made a mistake because when I went back to the free this week, these images aren't free this week. But watch what is free. All of these things, and maybe you'll see something in here that you like that you can also do on a t-shirt. But I really want to do the one that I had talked about, so I thought I'll just search for it and see how much it is. So I came up here into the search function and went to The Mountains Are Calling to see how much this little thing is. Type that in and then hit the search or the magnifying glass. And right now it's trying to search in the free this week. You see this? Images, free this week. I just wanted to search in the plain images section. So I clicked on images. The Mountains Are Calling is still here. And again, if I hit the search button now, I get to these. And look, it is still free. So there are lots of them that are fun here. Look at this one. The craft room is calling and I must go. Okay, not all of these are free. But it appears as though this one is free. Now I know I have the paid subscription, so I'm not exactly sure if it's free for everyone. But it's The Mountains Are Calling. And that's the one I'm going to use. I hope it's free for you. If not, you can choose something else that happens to be free. So there it is. The Mountains Are Calling and I Must Go. And it actually doesn't come in quite this large. I've already enlarged it. So I changed the size up here because remember I said I wanted it to be 10 by 10. So I made the width 10 and I made the height 8.5 or whatever it ended up being with this locked. Okay. Now if you're using the sheets that are the size of what comes for the scan and cut, I would probably change the height to 8.5 and then leave the width turn into whatever it is. So there is what it could be. But I'm going to change the height to 10. And it's not exactly going to be 10 by 10 for mine, but I have that large roll, remember? So it's ready. I'm not going to change anything else on this. So all I'm going to do is go to Make It. And you'll see it's going to fit on the one mat. Here's the 12 by 12 mat. Now if you look over here on the left hand side where it says Mirror, if you click on this little eye that gives you more information, you'll notice that it says Use Mirror for iron-ons and materials that are placed face down on the mat, like leather. Well, this is going to be an iron-on, so we want to mirror this when we cut it. So I'm going to click on this button right here to mirror it and watch what it does. It makes it all backwards, but that's exactly what we want. And then I'm going to go Continue. And it wants to select my device. Okay, once again, to get started now, since I'm at this step, I take my vinyl and it says to put the shiny side down. And if you forget, on our Cricut Design Space, it does give you a hint. It says make sure mirror is turned on, which we did, and it also says and iron-on material is face, and then in parentheses, shiny side down on the mat. So I'm going to turn this over on my mat and put it shiny side down like that, and then I'm going to take my little squeegee and make sure that there's no bubbles in it. I'll take it over to my machine, have it cut, and then I'll bring it back here. Okay, I'm going to begin weeding now, and that means taking away this part of the vinyl that I don't need and leaving the part that I do need on the carrier sheet, which is the plastic. So I'm doing this very carefully. I'm going to look and see what is it that this is supposed to say. So I'll start weeding some of this, and then I think I might speed this up because this could be rather boring to watch, right? Now, some of the tools that I like to use when I'm weeding are obviously the, well, you could have some tweezers, and then there's the tool, the Cricut tool, that looks like this. Another thing that I have that I bought is this pin, P-I-N, pen. It has a little pin here, and that makes it easy for me to pick out some of these little spaces, little areas, as you can see, hopefully, in the letters, that it might not be as easy if I didn't have this pen. So I like this tool. You can do a Google search for pin, P-I-N, like a needle or a pin. Or you know what, you could probably even use a pin, one of those pins that has the long flower head. Let's see. I thought I had one right here. I don't, but I do have a regular old pin. These are pins that I use on my long arm machine. Let's see if this will work. Oops. Okay, that works pretty good. So just use even a regular pin. Anyway, I'm going to speed this up. Okay, what you can see I'm doing right here was I accidentally got rambunctious or overachieving and took out the little part of the A in both places where I should not have. So I'm trying to put it back in, remembering to put it in upside down or with the shiny side down. Just set it kind of into place. That's perfect. That's how you can fix something. Let me get over here and fix this other A that I got overly rambunctious doing. Aha, good. I was able to find both of the little triangles. It was lucky. So let me pick that up and put it here. And that's all you have to do if you make a mistake. Kind of ease it into place. Come on. There. Okay. So I did the same thing with the R. Oh, what was I thinking? I guess I was so excited to show you how easy it was to use the tool. But it's easily fixed because I have the pieces over here right here on the table. So that's good. Just remember to put them shiny side down. Okay, let's see. I think I've gotten everything out. Now I can take this carrier sheet off of here and I can look at it like this. And you're kind of seeing it upside down, but it looks beautiful. I like it. Okay, I think I'll stop here and I'll go to part 2 so the video's not too long and you can join me over at the heat press. Thanks. Bye, you guys.